So when I was putting together this training, I was going back in my memory to when I started building a team. And so I actually have, now we were talking about, Leah was talking about the comparison trap that we get into. And we all do that. It's totally normal. So don't feel like, oh, I suck because I compare myself to other people. No, we're all the same way. We all do that. It's just human nature. I don't know why God made us like that. It's really frustrating. But what you have to keep in mind, and this is something I learned in my old company, is that like the top money earner of that company, she had done 10 other direct sales companies and failed miserably at all of them before she found the company that we were with. And that was a vehicle that got her to where she wanted to go. So what she had done is she had mastered her skill set before she found that company that was right for her. And that's why she's so successful. And I was always like, what does she do different than me? Well, really, it was just training, years of training and failing. She did more failing than I had done at that point in my life. So when we started that journey with our old business, I was 25 and Tim was 28. So, we were young. We were just starting on our entrepreneurship journey. Of course, we compared ourselves. It was frustrating because Tim and I like to be high achievers. We're drivers. Like we want to, we don't want to be average. We want to be good. Or I told him the other day, I want to either be really good at something or I want to suck at it. I don't want to be in the middle. So when I look back at that experience, I think about the fact that we're all at different places and we just have to honor that in ourselves. And we have to love on ourselves and believe in ourselves and be okay with where we're at, okay? So we all have different stories. Like the reason I think why this company was a perfect timing for me was because I had 11 years of training before I started this. It's not my first business that I've owned. I still have so far to go in my walk in life and in the person I can become, and but I think the timing was right for me when I started. But even though I had that background in team building and training and all of that, I wanted to get my mind around the business first. So my first tip with building a team is first to kind of learn how to retail. So that's one of the number one things that you want to learn how to do. Now, the way that I learned how to retail is I just watched what successful people did. And I emulated that. They weren't on my team. They were on other teams, and I would just stock them. I would get on their page and stock them. And I would be like, oh, that's a good idea. Ooh, I like that. So I would just kind of pick and choose and like see what would work. And that's how I started building my retail base. So when I started, I think I had 500 people on my page. And now we have like 4,600 or 4,500. It's not a ton. But I would say, gosh, there's maybe 100 people on there that consistently shop from us. So don't look at how many you have on your page. Look at the quality of the customer. And there's always people that kind of ebb and flow. So we have a really good customer for a while, and then they disappear. And then we have another really good customer. So it's like, or they become a consultant. Yeah, so it kind of ebbs and flows. So when you are starting off, learn how to retail. That should be your first focal point before you start building a team, because you want to teach people how to do what you do. So learn how to be a good retailer. And that's the thing with, I love the idea with the team multi-consultant sales. I think it's great. I think it's a great way to get lots of eyes on new inventory. The tip they always say is you need new eyes on old inventory or new inventory on old eyes, which is very, very true. So I like the idea of the team multi-consultant sale, but I actually I'd never done any of that when I started building my boutique. I kind of just stuck to the small boutique feel, unique pieces, servicing my customers really well, and trying to build a brand for myself. LuLaRoe, but also LuLaRoe Meg B as the brand. Okay, so think about that when you're starting your business. How do you set yourself apart? What are some cute marketing things you can do? What are some fun giveaways you can do? What are some fun little things you can throw in your bags when you're shipping to people? This is how you're going to build a team, guys, because you're going to find that people, when they see what you're doing, they're going to think, oh, I love that. That is so fun. She's doing this, she's doing that. I love the way that she services me as a customer. I'm interested in becoming a consultant. She would probably be a good person to follow. Okay, that's where it starts, is first with retailing and being a really good, solid consultant. Now, the reason why I started off that way was because we had managed a large team prior, and I was just kind of burnt out. I had 2 babies, and I was like, my babies want to suck the life out of me, and everyone else is trying to suck the life out of me. So I was like, LuLaRoe's perfect. I don't have to have a team. I can just sell $20,000 a month. I can make $10,000 a month from that and save it. I was like, this is going to be awesome. So that's how I originally started with LuLaRoe, and that was my mindset going in. I was like, I can just own my own little boutique, run it from home, be in the community, do community-driven projects, service my customers really well. And so that was my first focal point. So that's why my retail base was really good and has been good, because that's where I first focused. Okay, so then like 3 months in, I said, all right, I think I want to build a team now, because I have people coming to me asking me about this. But before I do that, I want to kind of get an idea of how to like train them and serve them and that sort of thing. So Tim and I started brainstorming on what we could do. So the second thing I'll tell you with building a team is to be somebody that you would want to follow, okay? So, hey Shauna, hey Marissa, hi Erica, hi April. So think about that, you guys. Write it down and put it on your mirror, okay? Put it on your bathroom mirror. Be someone that you would want to follow. And ask yourself, would I follow myself? Would I feel confident in myself? Would I, so think about that, really. Like, if you were finding a leader to follow, would you follow yourself? So ask yourself this question. Are you doing the 72-hour game plan? And this is something we kind of have to just do on a circular, like kind of like a wheel, like a hamster on a wheel. You just got to keep doing it. You do it from the beginning and you do it constantly. So I'm always trying to like juggle lots of different things, and this is one that, I fit in there too. So the 72-hour game plan, I'll just read it to you guys, okay? And I'll put it up here so you can, it's going to be backwards, so I'm not going to do that. But it's in your calendars, okay? Number 1, commit to treating your business like a business. Number 2, make a list of 50 names. So ask yourself, have you done that yet? Did you write down 50 names? These are people that could host a party for you at some point. It doesn't mean you have to do anything with the 50 names, but it's just the act of writing them down, okay? Number 3, book your first 3 pop-up boutiques within 5 days. So anytime I'm training somebody one-on-one and we're having a call on the phone, I'll say, okay, you need to set your launch, your at-home launch, then you need to set your online launch for, 4 or 5 days later so you can photograph. And then you need to try to like get stuff set up for that first month. Do you have friends that you could ask to do a pop-up for you? People you feel comfortable with. Ask your family. Say, hey, could you do this for me? And just so I can kind of get used to styling people and kind of learning about how stuff fits and sizing and all of that. And that's how I started. That's how I started when I was initially booking pop-ups. Okay, 4. Promote your pop-up boutiques through calls, texts, emails, Periscope, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Evites, and flyers. So think about the last time you actually promoted to have a pop-up. When was the last time you did that? And then step 5, repeat steps 1 through 4 yourself and with your team. So that's the simplicity of it, okay, guys? It's right here. It's right inside. You can find it on your in Build, the 72-hour game plan. There was something on there that just made me remember something. Oh, this is what I was going to say. So the whole booking pop-up thing, like in the beginning, because people would ask me, oh, can I book a pop-up? Or on the Google form, they would say, yes, I'd like to earn free clothes. So for a long time, I had people that were requesting, but when my business really took off is when I just looked at who was purchasing from me on a regular basis, and I reached out to them with a personal message on Facebook, and I said, hey, would you want to do a pop-up for me online? It's really easy, just help me promote and you get free clothes. And I'd explain to them what they got. Sometimes you just have to do that. You just have to be direct with people, and you just have to kind of give it like one extra step to get those pop-ups booked. The worst thing they can say is, no, sorry, not right now. It's like, who cares? Like, you shouldn't be offended by that. It's not a big deal. So if they don't want to do it, be like, oh, totally understand, no worries, on to the next person. So, so don't worry about the outcome. Just know that with every person you ask, you're one person closer to somebody who will say, yes, I would love to, and you'll have an amazing party with them, and it'll lead you to a whole new customer base. So that's how you get new eyes on old inventory, okay, is with those pop-ups. Now, we love to do stuff online, but I also feel like you should be doing stuff in the home too. So ask yourself this question: are you doing pop-ups in your community? Are you getting your stuff out of your house? Exactly, Amanda. If you never ask, the answer is always no. This is very true. So these are things like, if you guys aren't doing these fundamental things, you need to do this before you build a team, because whatever you do is what your people are going to do. Whatever you do, they're going to follow and do whatever you do, okay? So are you running your business with a leadership mindset? So from the beginning, even when I didn't have a team, I started making lists of things I needed to do for my team at some point, if I wanted one. I never, like when I started, I was like, if I have a team, great. If not, whatever. Because I was in that mindset of just being kind of burnt out. But I always had that in the back of my head, like, I'm going to be a leader. I'm going to be good at this. I'm going to succeed. I'm not going to take no for an answer. I'm going to be positive. I'm going to feed my mind. So that's the other thing. Are you guys reading or listening to something positive every single day? So these are very simple questions you can ask yourself. Yes, exactly, Marissa. Don't put your eggs all in one basket. So, you know, do you want to be the person? Are you someone that you would follow? Hi, August. Hey, Emily. So those are the simple things. Are you doing the 72-hour game plan? Are you acting like a leader? Are you booking pop-ups? Are you getting in your community? Are you listening and reading something positive every day? Those are the things you have to do before you can lead a team, okay? Those are mandatory. And then last but not least, the most important, you have to believe in yourself, okay, guys? I spend every day talking to people on the phone, and you guys, you're probably like, where's Megan? I haven't seen her post on our page today. Well, that's because I'm talking to people on the phone, because I do my best work individually with people, one-on-one. And so I have to, as a leader, and you need to be prepared for this, people are going to come to you with complaints. They're going to come to you with things like, oh, I can't do this, or I don't believe in you. I don't believe in myself. So what you're going to have to do as a leader, if you're going to have a team, is you have to believe in yourself and be strong so that you can believe in other people. You know, you have to, number one, believe in yourself. And you need to do that in order to believe in others. And that's the number one thing. Yeah, exactly, Leah. That's a great analogy. So that's my thought process on all of that, just like as a foundation. And the way to believe in yourself is really just through positive affirmation, through talking. No negative self-talk. The minute that enters your mind, you have to say, no, thank you, bye-bye. Got to get rid of it. We all do it. I do it. But it's like, if you practice putting positive information into your brain every day by listening to something positive and reading something positive, the negative talk is easier to get rid of quicker. So it comes in and you say no. You can control your mind. So remember that. You control what goes into your brain and the way you think. So don't let all these little negative things start twirling around in your brain and you feed into that. No. You have control over that. So remember that. Okay? So believe in yourself. Hey, Lisa. Be intentional. Bye, girly. See you later. Okay, be intentional is number 2. We have a couple more minutes here. So what I mean by that is when you decide to build a team and you feel like you're ready for that, you need to be intentional, which means you need to shift your focus a little bit. So anything, right, the rule is anything that you focus on will expand. And that's true. I mean, it just is. Like, you focus on negative stuff and it grows. You focus on positive stuff and it grows. You focus on retailing, you do better at it. You focus on selling Nicole dresses, you sell more. You focus on selling Carly's, you sell more. This is what has been true, at least for me in my life. So if you're going to build a team, you need to be intentional about it. So you want to shift your focus just a little bit, still retail, keep your business going, but you're going to start focusing on that. You're going to be more intentional with that. So the ways that you do that is maybe make a video talking about your experience to this point. post it on YouTube and give it a fun title and give it some good, what are those things called when the search words or whatever on YouTube? Like keywords. Give it some good keywords so that people will find you, and make it creative and make it fun, or do a value-added video and put it on YouTube. Create a YouTube channel. Just do a value-added video, like how to style the Carly dress, or like Rhea did last week, how to style the Madison skirt. So you're adding value. People are starting to see who you are and kind of relate to you. So that's one way to kind of intentionally kind of shift your focuses. You're going to get out there more. Also, you can post on your own VIP page, hey everyone, I'm excited to say that I'm starting to build a team of consultants with LuLaRoe. Please post your email below if you're interested in learning more. That's a really nonchalant, non-invasive way to ask people if they're interested. And you never know, because there's people that are on your page thinking about it, but they just never say anything until you ask them. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, I'd be interested in that. Hi, Meg. So where was I going with that? So yeah, so maybe post on your page, or you could try a text marketing campaign. So just get like a little, what's the text system that we use called?
CallRail?
Callfire. Callfire, Tim says, is the text system that we use. So, hey Hannah, so what you do you sign up for a text message campaign thingy or whatever, and then on your page you can say, or interested in learning about becoming a LuLaRoe consultant, text, whatever the number is, 32259 to, text LuLaRoe or LLR Meg B to 22259. So then you'll get people that will start texting to learn more about becoming a consultant. So these are just little tips and ways that you can be a little bit more intentional about building a team, okay? So once you have somebody that's interested, then I get people are like, now what do I do? Because somebody actually wants, information. So when you get on the phone with people, just, honestly, guys, all you need to do is just get to know them. Ask them questions. Where are you from? How many kids do you have? What's your career? Why do you want to do this? What's the reason why? Tell me why. What's your goal? Like as a coach and a leader, you can't help people get to where they want to go unless you know what their goal is. So what's your goal? How much do you want to make per month? How do you see that? How many hours do you have a week to work on this with the time constraints that you have already in your life? So these are good questions to ask people, because they're important, because you need to know them if you're going to help people, especially if they go through moments of doubt. You want to be able to remind them nicely why they told you they wanted to do this in the first place. And we all have different reasons, and that's okay. Our reasons don't need to be the same. Some people have more serious reasons. Some people have more lighthearted reasons, so, but just knowing that when you talk to people and getting to know them and the heart of the person that you're talking to so that you can better serve them, that's where I always tell people to start, And then just educating them on LuLaRoe, the company, the background of the company, how long it's been around, the idea behind it, the concept behind it, where it's going, how much we did in sales last year, 73 million, or was it million?
Us personally?
Yeah, we did.
I knew we had a pretty good year. I don't think it was that bad.
Tim's like, us personally? No, 73 million they did in 2015, and then in 2016 they did 1.3 billion. So you can tell people the growth of the company. I know, I was like, dang, where did all that money go if that's what we made? So kind of that conversation that you're going to have with people is really going to just be more about them. Okay? So this is I don't want to say it's it's not selling, but because I've been in sales for so long, that what they always tell you is, in order to give your customers what they want and need, you have to know what they want and need. So you have to ask them. Sometimes people think like selling is more like telling, and it's not. It's actually the opposite. So if you're with your boutique, like when I do my online sales, and I'm not like, somebody buys a shirt and I'm not like, oh, these leggings look great with this shirt, don't you think? Like, I don't usually do that. I usually say, I love that. What size pant do you normally wear, first of all? And what colors do you like? Or what is your style, Aw, thanks, Leah. I loved that conversation we had too. It was such a great, like, I felt like I was meant to know you in my life. And, yeah, and I feel like we were on the way to Miami at the time, and I had talked to Leah on the phone. So we were like driving. We had like 2 hours in the car before we went on the cruise, and we talked. Leah and I talked, and it was a really great conversation. And I love learning about people too, guys. So if you're building a team, that should be at the core of what you're doing. Is you want to care for people and you want to learn about them. You know. Aw, thanks, Shauna. You're so sweet. So I really, you know, I'm not perfect, you guys. I'm far from perfect. Oh my gosh. People probably talk and say negative things about me and whatever. I mean, I'm just human. I can only do so much, you know, but I know this 150% that I care about you guys so much, like deeply. Like I can't sleep half the time because I'm up thinking, oh my gosh, I need to contact this person. Oh my gosh, I need to check on this person. Oh my gosh, this person had this issue and this person has this issue. And am I doing enough? Like, am I doing enough? I don't know. But the thing is that I truly love you guys and I want you guys to succeed. And that is at the core of my being. And so, oh, thanks, Sarah. You're so sweet. And so I want you guys to know that when you build a team, just go at it with that same attitude. Like, make it about the person, not you. Because honestly, sometimes it's not going to be a good fit for them. You guys might not get match very well. You know, maybe you won't have a good rapport. And that's okay. We don't have to match perfectly with everybody, you know. But I will say, if you can approach every conversation with, let me learn about this person, genuinely understand their heart and what they want to get out of this and where they're going and how can I help service them and get them there, then you're going to have an amazing team of wonderful people that you've attracted based on that philosophy. And know this too, when you're building a team, you're going to have problems too where you're not perfect. You're not going to be able to serve everybody all the time. And it's going to be frustrating because with somebody with a servant heart, usually those are the people that have teams. You want to be able to serve everyone all the time, but you can't. It's just not, it doesn't work that way. So just take that pressure off yourself as you start to build. Do the best you can with the best intention that you have and love on people. And that's really all you can do, guys. So I just want to say that because we have some people on here who are starting to build some bigger teams. And so, you know, more dynamics, more personalities, and it's definitely a process that you go through as you start to become a leader. So that's one of the things I have in here as my tips is just be prepared to coach, to pep talk people, to train people. Remember, it's not about you. If people are in a bad place, it's not about you. It's usually they have something that they need help with that you need to help them through. So just remember that, okay, guys? And I'm sure we'll talk about that more as you guys all build your own teams and we have coaching calls and things like that. All right, so the last thing, and I know it's past 3, so I'm sure whoever needed to order jumped off. So steps for new people. Okay, so let's say you get somebody on the phone and they're like, yeah, I really want to do this. Like, I'm excited. So don't make it complicated for them because it's already kind of confusing and scary enough. Just explain to them that they can get into the queue. You'll send them a link. And the great thing is you always have the option if when they call you and you change your mind, no big deal. Like, you don't have to pay anything. The only thing is you have to wait 6 months before you can reapply. But just let them know that. Like, that's the first step in taking action towards your goal. And then while you're in the queue, we're going to get you into our training system and we're going to get you on the team page so you can be part of the community. We're going to make sure we tell people about the RowanRockstars.com website. So don't forget about that, guys. We're going to be working on, Ria's actually going to be in town visiting next week. So we're going to sit down and kind of work through it. She's really creative and good with like making things look pretty. So I'm going to have her help me with that website, but it's always a work in progress. So if you guys have tips or things you want added, or you're like, ooh, this would be really cool on the website, please tell me. Like, I need help. Okay. So I am not by any means the know-it-all, be-it-all for everything. So if you guys are like, oh, I wish this website had this, just tell me and we'll try to get it added. Okay. So yeah, tell them about that. Make sure they know about the 72-hour game plan. And Tim and I created a 7-week email series for people that kind of gives them little tips as they're in the queue. So if you want them to be part of that, just give us their email and we'll pop them right into that. It's just through MailChimp. And I think we need to go through and kind of refresh that a little bit, do like a little bit of a bless training in there and some other things. And then the other thing is, guys, make sure you ask them, okay, let me know exactly what are your goals, write their goals down. What is your color lens so that you can learn where they fit in that, so how they like to be communicated with. And then start a file for that person so that you have, so for all you guys, we have files in our computer through Podio so that I know, like, if I need to go back and check on something with somebody in particular, I can go back and say, oh yeah, this person said blah, 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 and I can then have that information at my fingertips if I forget or something. The other thing is with the goal setting, make sure you ask people's permission to hold them accountable. So, I know you're sharing your goals with me. Can I hold you accountable to these goals? Because as a coach, that's my job. I don't want you to get mad at me if I remind you of your goals, please, but I want to hold you accountable if that's okay with you. So make sure you kind of walk through that with them, help them with their goals. And then the biggest and most important thing is just believing in them. Positive affirmation, okay? So every day I sit down and I text random people on the team and I just say, how's it going? How are you doing? Do you need anything from me? Because I feel like when I do that, I find that a lot of people are like, yeah, I do need this, that, and the other, you know? But if I never asked, I wouldn't have known. So that's the other thing. Like, make sure you tell people, you have to let me know if you need something, guys. As a leader, like, you are saying this to your team, please let me know if you need something, because I can't read your mind. But it is good, though, to always check up on people and just, you know, believe in them, give them positive affirmation, tell them they're doing a great job. Pick one thing that you think they've done awesome at. Give them something to strive for. You know, this week, let's try to get you to 40 pieces sold. You know, or how can I help you? Like, let's brainstorm some ideas on marketing. You know, just really getting in the trenches and like getting nitty gritty with people. So our Rowan Rockstars page is a great way for all of us to share and everything. But, you know, I really, really enjoy just talking to people one-on-one and kind of putting together game plans and things like that. So again, I will reiterate, if you need something from me at any time or any of the leaders, please let us know. And as you become a leader, which I all know you have the potential to do, remember that, just to remind your team of that, like, let me know if you need anything, and then check on people and just love on them. And really, if you just love on people, that's the most important thing. Sometimes people just need you to say, good job, you're doing awesome, you know, and just get them going on the right path again. Okay, so with that being said, I can send you guys this little cheat sheet if you want, that I made today. If you guys want it, I just typed it up and Tim printed it. But I could put it in a little format and get it on the team page under files if you guys want it. Otherwise, any questions quick before we go? Because that was about 40 minutes. Questions? Yay, thanks, Jamie. Thanks for being on. Thanks, guys, for coming on and listening to me blabble on. It's always nice to have an audience. Anybody else? Anybody else? Questions or anything you guys need from me? We can keep the line open, too, if there's random questions that aren't related to the training. We can kind of consider this like our office hours. Let's see. I have a call coming up soon, but thanks, Kelly. No pressing questions, you guys. Anything in particular? I think what I'll do every Thursday is just keep the line. Like, we'll do a little training, and then I'll keep the line open so that we can, you know, have a powwow if anybody needs questions on anything or has questions on anything. What do you do? Okay, so I could have Tim maybe do a Podio training for you guys. I think you actually have to pay for it. I'm pretty sure you have to pay for it. He kind of takes care of all that technical stuff because I don't love it. And once he quit his job, he took over like creating some systems for us that I personally am not a green or a yellow. Like Shauna, you and I are different in that way. That kind of stuff is, ugh. Like, I hate all those little, he's always like, use Podio, put tasks in Podio. And I'm like, no, I want a Post-it note. I want to have like 500 Post-it notes posted all over the house. And he's like, why don't we just keep it all in one space? So Podio, he loves it, Shauna, so you might actually really like it. But I know you need systems. I know. Oh, I know. Of course, Leah. Of course. Let me know if you need anything. Seriously, girlfriend. You have me and Rhea. We're both your sponsors, my friend. So you can come to either of us with anything. Oh, Leah, did you see the training that Shauna W did on Instagram? She did a really great training. I can tag you in it. But it was interesting because I'm really not that great at Instagram yet. I'm like working on it. It's one of the things I'm trying to focus on. But Shauna actually did not even have an Instagram account until she got in the queue. And then she started her Instagram account. Now she has like a bazillion followers, which I'm like, how did she do that? So I'm working on being more like Shauna. Yeah, the social media. Yeah, I'll tag you too, Debbie. Of course, I shouldn't compare myself to Shauna, right, guys? There we go, falling into that comparison trap. But yeah, okay, I'll tag Leah and Debbie. And then when I tag you guys, it'll pop to the top of the page, okay? So you'll see it. And I want to be like you. If we had a little Lula baby, like the combination of the two of us, it'd be the best of both worlds, because we'd have one that was like me, that's kind of like la la la, not super organized. Oh, they make $73 million. That's right. We all have ideas. Yes, we do. I know, and that's the great thing that I love about our team is like, oh my gosh, the amount of talent we have, even for people that, you know, are just starting new with LuLaRoe, who have years of so much great information and talent. So I love it. So yes, I will thanks. I know. I'm trying, I really do work on not comparing myself to people, though. It gets really hard. Like, it's hard. You guys know. It is so hard. That's why, you know what, guys? Honestly, from the beginning that I started this, I told myself I'm not going to go look at anybody else, like what they're doing, except for like maybe a handful, like 3 people that I really like the way they run their business. And so I'm literally on nobody's page. I don't look at anything outside of my own business, because I know my personality, and that it will irritate me if somebody's like super, you know, doing like super, super awesome, and here I'm like struggling. So we all struggle with that, but I know my boundaries with that. So I know like who I follow and why I follow them. And then other things I don't look at. I just ignore, like, whoop, put the lights out. Oh yeah, that's a good idea, Leah. I do not have many people on Facebook that I'm connected to through LuLaRoe. Honestly, like none, barely any. 3, I think. 3 people. I like to see what they do, and then I kind of copy them sometimes. So copying is like one of the best things, because you didn't have to be super creative. You just said, oh, I like that idea, and then you just steal it. Nobody cares. I mean, everything's kind of copied, right? In life, like all successful people kind of copy each other. Okay. Yes, there is a point where you should not take on any more people. Great question, Shauna. Yes, there is. So what I did is I sponsored between May and August, I think it was, or October or September, I can't remember, like 40 people, okay? Because like I told you, I shifted my focus, and yes, that's true, Marissa, totally. That is true. You got to hear stuff from like 10 different people, 10 different ways until it like sticks in your brain. But yeah, so anyway, back to Shauna's question. Yes, that was too many, but I had no guidance, guys. I didn't have a sponsor. I didn't have a coach above me. I didn't talk to Brittany Comp. I like literally was like, I didn't know what I was doing. Like I just sponsored people that came on. I was like, yeah. And then I worked really, really hard to train everybody. You know, it was crazy. It was crazy town. So then finally, Jordan, Deanne's son, told me stop doing that. And I was like, but I don't want to like turn people away because, you know, I want people to be successful and la da 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 da. And he was like, it's not about you. And I was like, what? It's not? No, just kidding. But seriously, like that smacked me in the forehead like this. It's not about you. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. It's not about me. So then what he did is he said, okay, stop sponsoring people. But what you can do is you can like co-sponsor, which I thought that's a great idea. Because in my mind, I'm like, that's better than just having one sponsor, because then you get two sponsors. You get, you know, like me, if you're contacting me directly, you get me as a sponsor, and then I'll match you with somebody based on your color lens who I think would be a good fit for you, and you get that person. So you have two sponsors. So it's not like, oh, I'm just going to like pawn you off onto somebody else. Bye-bye. No, that's not the way I look at it. I look at it as I like to match people up. And sometimes I find that some people are a better match for that person than they are with me, because they might be super green yellow and I'm more like blue orange. And so sometimes we don't communicate the same. And that might be frustrating for a green yellow person, you know? So that's the way that I handle it now, Shauna. So I would say stop at like 20-ish. 20 people. 20 is good. And it also depends on like how serious your people are. So if you have some good, strong leaders with 20, then you can start co-sponsoring at that point. And then you just have to explain to people what you're doing. You know, I always tell people, like, if you're not comfortable with that, I totally understand, but I want you to get the most out of this. And I could easily say, yeah, I'll sign you up. Sure, here's my link. Go. I mean, you make 5% when you build a team. You make 5% from anyone you sign up from whatever they order. So, and then if you give them to somebody else, you make less on that. So it's really, you know, in my opinion, when you're co-sponsoring, it's more selfless. Because you are focusing on the person coming in. You're not focusing on yourself. How much money can I make? You're saying, how can I match this person with somebody in my team who's a leader so that they can get the training that they need, and they can get it from me, but they can also get it from this other person, so that if I'm busy training the team as a whole, this person knows that they have a backup, and vice versa. So, and then you start growing. Okay, so the way that it works, guys, is there is a video on YouTube that I like that, have we ever posted on our team page about?
Compensation plan?
Yeah.
It's on our team training website.
Okay.
Under LuLaRoe, on the LuLaRoe page.
Okay, so on our team training website, rowanrockstars.com, there is, under the LuLaRoe tab, there is a video on the compensation plan. So when I first saw it, I was like, that's kind of confusing, because I've looked at a million compensation plans in my day, and it just takes a little while for you to understand what's going on. But basically, in order to become a trainer, you need to have 10 people on your team total, 10 in total, 3 of which you sponsored. Okay, so that's how you become a trainer. So 3 of them are yours, 10 in total. Okay, and then you have to have a total group sales volume of, what is it? Do you know? 1750. So that's how you become a trainer. Then, in order to be coach, which these are all just like titles, like it's not, I mean, it's cool to strive for it, but I mean, here's the thing. You don't want to hit a level just because it's going to serve you and you're going to hit that level. So you're going to just do it because it's going to serve, because in the long run, that'll never be a good thing. So you want to make sure that, like with coach, so what you need is you need 3 trainers on your team. So because I'm co-sponsoring with some people that told me they want to build teams, and they've shown me that they're ordering enough product each month and they're cruise qualifying and things like that, I feel confident in letting them co-sponsor with me. But I will not place somebody with a leader unless I think that they're a good fit for that person. I'm not going to do it so that I can hit coach. Like, that doesn't interest me. That's really not what this is about. This is about building leaders within your own team and serving those people, those leaders, and building them up. And then teaching them how to then build leaders within their team. Who cares about the title? The title doesn't matter. What matters is, are you helping people get to their goals and where they want to go? Are you serving others, at the core of everything? So that's the whole thing. Like the technically speaking, like you're a trainer when you're at 10 people, 3 sponsored, 1750 pieces a month. That's what it is. But once you get into building a larger team where you're becoming a coach, you really have to think more about the people. I mean, you're always thinking about the people, but like if you're placing, and co-sponsoring, you need to do what's best for the new person, not yourself and not the person that you're trying to help get to trainer. So that's my opinion. Does that help? I should probably do like a video and put this on YouTube. I just had an idea. Hi, Kate. Kate, you got to go to Tampa with us. It's going to be so fun. And don't forget, you're coming to my house on April 9th. Ah! 73 million. All right, I have a new goal, guys. That just like came out of my mouth, and now I must go for it. It's going up on my mirror. It's okay. We're going to end the call so we don't go over an hour. But you can go back and watch it because I'm going to post it. I still look, you guys, I don't know what my problem is. My face still looks like swollen from drinking too many margaritas in Mexico. I've been eating like lettuce and chicken all week. And I still look like, oh my goodness. Woo. All right, guys. I love you all. I hope that was helpful. I hope it was helpful. And let me know if you have more questions. Anything else? We're dwindling down to 5. We have 5. Okay. Talk to you guys soon.